What's up, good people? Jeff C. here. I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a nice weekend. Hopefully, a good Thanksgiving, and I got to see some friends and family. I wasn't able to do the Friday show. I had a migraine, and when I get migraines, I kind of got to just back away from everything and just sit it out, sort of thing. It sucks, but I feel much better. Anyway, so I'm here tonight to talk about some of the things I want to talk about on Friday's show, including this headline, which was from the other day here on Rainbow Unicorn Land here, the Canadian Brainwashing Corporation. And as you see COVID-19 news. It's basically what your news is these days. Trudeau turns to the military to help with COVID-19 vaccine distribution. So the same script again. How does it work? And I can't emphasize this enough, that they often introduce ideas here and there and everywhere. Like they try something out in this region, and they'll try something else in this region, and then they'll do something else here, and then in Spain they'll do this, and in South Korea they'll do that, Great Britain they'll do this, Ontario they'll do that, United States they'll do this, and then eventually what you see happen elsewhere will happen where you are, and you've already grown to accept the possibility of it because they've already told you basically that they're doing this elsewhere. So we know with Trump, trust the plan, that Trump put the military in charge of Operation Warp Speed in the distribution of the vaccines, and that the head of the military, the chief general in the operation there, what's his name again? I can't remember his name. It escapes me for a second. A real douchebag. Said that his greatest fear was people resisting. And you get the same rhetoric out of Canada, the exact same rhetoric. It's pretty scary the way the whole thing's unfolding. And as you see, just like Trump, Trudeau's turning to the military to help with the vaccine distribution. Now, we just recently had Remembrance Day, where they give you all kinds of propaganda telling you how the soldiers, the heroes that died, and how we must love and cherish our military. They've also used the military in several of the COVID sort of happenings here in Montreal in particular. Military was brought in, and again, it was a well-publicized theatrical sort of performance where the military was brought in to save the elderly people that were left abandoned by the workers who abandoned their posts at the old age homes. So here's the military changing the bedpans, changing the catheters and helping shower the elderly. And again, that gets played to no end all over the media, and people say, oh, that's great. Thank God that for the military. Oh, they're doing a great job. They care and all that. Right. Again, soldiers do what soldiers are told to do because it's about orders, right? This is just how it functions. But they have set up the narrative just over the past few months that, yeah, the military are good guys. They're here to help out. And so when you think about it, if you were to think about it on the surface, like, they're going to use the military to hand out the vaccines or to distribute the vaccines. You'd be like, well, wait a second. Military are supposed to do military things. And the military things involve, military operations, right? Attacking or defending territories and stuff like that, right? And yeah, they get used for occasionally to help with national disasters and stuff like that. But to give out vaccines. And it's like, well, wait a second. We already have this massive Medicare system in Rainbow Unicorn Land. And why do the military to come in and distribute the vaccines? Well, if you want people to take your medicine, and I'm saying your medicine as in Big Pharma's medicine, it's going to be a lot easier to get people to accept it when you have a military presence enforcing it. Meaning that people are going to have a much harder time resisting the military than they are going to have resisting some nurse or doctor or CLSC worker here in Quebecistan. So it is pretty ominous. Also, another thing, and I'm not going to show you anything. Well, yeah, I will in a second here. Another thing for everyone to take in consideration is the way the whole script, and I went on about this a lot last week when I was talking about it, like how, it's wham bam thank you man. It's all of a sudden, first it was Pfizer, then it was Moderna, then it was AstraZeneca, and then it was someplace in Great Britain. All within a week, all these big pharma corporations all of a sudden have a vaccine. And it's 94% or it's 91% or it's 97% effective, right? And then what happens is the U.S. government is now working to fast track those vaccines. So the vaccines were fast tracked from day one, right? The whole production of them. Typically, it takes anywhere from 4 to 10 years for a vaccine to be properly tested and then, pass all kinds of trials and then distributed, right, as an acceptable form, because you don't know the long-term impacts of what the vaccinations could have. But this has all been rushed, of course. I believe whatever they want to put into us, they've had for a long time, and that this is just how they're going to do it. So I believe that it's no coincidence that, one after another of the big pharmas have come out and, within a week or so, all have a vaccination. And then now you have the governments all saying, well, let's fast track it, let's get it out as soon as possible. While they're telling you, and remember this always, while they're telling you, oh, even if you get a vaccine, you're not going to stop wearing masks. Even if you get a vaccine, you're not going to stop social distancing. Even if you get a vaccine, you're still going to have to comply with all the rules. But they are teasing you that we could get back to a normal, of course, quote unquote, new normal soon if we can fast track these things in, bring in the solutions, get everyone vaccinated. And then the whole push is to get everyone vaccinated. And of course, what they're saying is that there's too many people that are going to resist and that they need a certain percentage of people to get the vaccine. So if the United States is saying things like, okay, we need 70% of people to be vaccinated for it to be effective, but 50% of people or 60% or whatever, it's over 50% of people are resistant to vaccines. That's a big problem. So, hence the military, if you know what I'm saying. Of course, we have talked about this all along, and especially since Trump announced the Operation Warp Speed. So, and then you have things like this, as you see here. This is a screenshot, but Alberta's top doctor calls secret recordings of pandemic meetings a betrayal of trust. How much do you want to bet that's purposely leaked, that is purposely orchestrated that way in order to push? What is it? Of course, they're pushing, oh, we can't handle it. It's too much. It's overwhelming the system. And, oh, look, these leaks come out and they show how much these people are struggling to keep up. There's nothing, I believe, off the media. Zilch. Zero. I wouldn't trust that story as far as I could throw it. And you got this clown up here. Now, let's take a look at this. Okay, I want you to take a look at this video with me. Here. This is the global news. You see with the red V, their fifth age, of course, the global V. And you got this pretty attractive news anchor. I've never seen this person before on global news. U.S. braces for post-Thanksgiving COVID-19 surge. So let's watch this together and see how the narrative is playing out. And I'll point out a few things that I think are worthy of pointing out.
Well, in the US, today is the busiest travel day of the year as millions of Americans head home.
Do you notice something right away? This is global news. Now, you might be confused because you'd be like, global news, right? What does that mean? Well, it's actually Canadian. It's Canadian news. But did you notice the accent? And this is a typical strategy. In fact, CNN is one of the top at doing this, where they get British accents or British people to come in and populate these shill sort of occupation here as news anchors, because a British accent sounds classy, it sounds intelligent, it sounds sophisticated, compared to, you could say, contrast to, say, a typical American accent. So CNN figured this out a long time ago, and they've been doing this for ages, putting these types of people up. So I found that interesting because I'd never seen this person before. I was like, what? Who is this person? I've never seen this person on global news. So British accent, again, coming in. Also the global whole sort of thing, right? It's the entire world that's fighting the same pandemic.
Of the year, as millions of Americans head home from Thanksgiving celebrations. With so many ignoring the warning not to travel, health officials are bracing themselves for another deadly surge. Jennifer Johnson has more on the crisis ahead.
As millions of Americans return home
Another
through
thing
airport,
I could point
Jennifer
out too is that the sort of outfit that she's in kind of looks a bit like the COVID sort of thing, you know, scarlet purple sort of coloring with these frills coming off sort of thing. Just subliminal sort of mind control of the media, which they use all the time.
Johnson has more on the crisis ahead.
As millions of Americans return home through airports and on the roads after the Thanksgiving holiday, the busiest travel day of the year, healthcare experts warn there will be consequences.
Clearly, in the next few weeks, perhaps even 2 or 3 weeks down the line, we may see a surge upon a surge. You know, we don't want to
surge upon a surge. Your waves upon waves. Now, this guy, oh, if only I could say, this guy, you know, needs to be arrested. These people, honestly. But this guy, this scumbag, Anthony Fauci here, Jaws himself here. And what is he telling you? Of course, he's telling you the script. The script is going to play out because it always plays out the way that they say. If they show you Trump and they're having a corn roast and nobody's social distancing, or they show a big Trump MAGA rally and nobody's social distancing, you know 2 weeks later there's going to be all these stories. You know, because it's all part of the script. All of a sudden, health officials have said, you know, in the you know, the state of Kentucky, you know, and just 2 weeks ago, there was a large MAGA rally, right? That's how it plays out. So they're telling you that this is how it's going to play out. Surge on top of a surge. Wave on top of wave. They're letting you know how it's going to play out. So you know this is going to be the script. It's a script, folks. It's a script. You like Brothers Grimm tales, you want to believe them, go ahead, believe them, right? To me, it's a Brothers Grimm tale. This is what the script is. The script is going to play out the way that the script is. This is all a big script. White House Coronavirus Task Force.
weeks, perhaps even 2 or 3 weeks down the line, we may see a surge upon a surge. You know, we don't want to frighten people, but that's just the reality.
You do want to frighten people, you scumbags. All you want to do is frighten people. You've got people so frightened they're afraid of their own shadow. That's no joke, too. I see it every single day. People are terrified. When I go into shops, people won't even come down the aisle if I'm there because they're waiting for me to move if I'm looking to get something or something, right? People are terrified. People leaving this. I don't even talk about all the personal things I've been seeing because it's just so utterly. My faith in humanity is so utterly shooken. But yeah. I mean, it's sad to see how much fear they have programmed people into. And this is what it all is, because I don't want to scare people. Yeah, you do. That's why you're doing it. That's the only reason that you're doing this. Your whole purpose here, Mr. Fauci, is to scare people. That's all it is. You want to scare people because fear is the mind controller. Fear is how they control your minds. That's how it works. So they gotta push fear all the time in their videos, in their propaganda pieces, in their media articles, in their scripted doctors and nurses, in their garbage to make you give up all your rights. That's how the game is played. So it's so hilarious to listen to this douchebag talk. Oh, we don't want to scare people.
Weeks down the line, we may see a surge upon a surge. You know, we don't want to frighten people, but that's just the reality.
An estimated 7 million people traveled through U.S. airports from November 22nd to the 25th ahead of the holiday. Now they are heading back home with this advice.
If you're young and you gathered, you need to be tested about 5 to 10 days later. But you need to assume that you're infected.
What? What? Deborah Birx just said if you're young and you traveled, you need to be tested. You need to assume that you've been infected. There's a special place in hell for these people. A real special, extra hot, extra, but down in the boilers, I guess. The boiler room of the hell was where these people are going to be hanging out. But yeah, can you believe this? The scarf lady here, I gotta straighten that out there. It's wearing the mask which she normally typically never wears, but here she's got to really emphasize it, so they want to escalate the level of fear. And here she is telling you, yeah, if you're young and you've traveled, you first and foremost need to get tested, and you need to assume that you've been infected. How evil is this? What a insane, I mean, how, these people. Unbelievable.
This advice.
If you're young and you gathered, you need to be tested about 5 to 10 days later, but you need to assume that you're infected.
Healthcare officials fear what's coming. One doctor offering this warning.
I
hope this guy, oh man. Oh, I can't say what I want to say. I want to say things. I'm not going to say them. I just hope these people get what they deserve. What they truly, truly deserve. This guy and his disgusting fear porn here, and of course I did show this last week. You've probably seen this video by now. But unbelievable theatrics, fear porn.
This warning.
I hope that the last moments of your life don't look like this. Because this is what you'll see at the end of your life if we don't start wearing masks.
Los Angeles County officials are not backing down as their controversial 3-week ban on public and private gatherings takes effect Monday.
Dead people don't get a second chance.
Is that Steven Pinker? Does that look like Steven Pinker to you? Looks like Steven Pinker with a frickin' hair dyed white or whatever. Dead people don't get a second chance.
Effect Monday.
Dead people don't get a second.
See, they don't want to scare you. They don't want to frighten you. They don't want to frighten you. I hope this isn't the last thing that you see before you die. Dead people don't get a second chance. There's going to be a surge on top of it. They don't want to scare you. There's a special place in hell for these people.
Chance.
Doctors are frustrated so many Americans are ignoring safety guidelines, like this massive illegal party busted in New York City. As the release of
massive illegal party. Illegal party. How is it illegal? How is a party illegal? Can you explain to me how? Can you show me in the law where it's illegal to have a party? Can you show me where it's illegal for people to congregate in a bar? Can you show me where in the law it says that? How is it illegal? Oh, my blood is just...
like this massive illegal party busted in New York City as the release of a vaccine gets closer. On Saturday, the first doses of a vaccine were flown from Brussels to Chicago, awaiting federal approval. For those on the front lines, it can't come soon enough.
Yeah.
It's been really tough for us. Resources have been stretched thin. The staff has been stretched thin.
Yeah, go make your TikTok videos.
Coronavirus task force is hoping to meet with President-elect Joe Biden's administration Monday, while federal health officials vote Tuesday on who will get the vaccine first. But it will be up to each state to make the final decision. The overwhelming recommendation is for healthcare workers to get the vaccine first, as many hospitals are overwhelmed with COVID-19 patients. Jennifer Johnson, Global News.
Okay, well then let's go and film the hospitals in Kara. Oh, we already did that, and they were all empty. Oh, but you banned all those videos. Canada not in the back of the... I mean, it's so funny the way they do this. This is just now the headlines off the Canadian Brainwashing Corporation here. Canada not at the back of the line, says Moderna co-founder. This corporation that came out of nowhere, and they're making billions. The vaccine industry itself has tripled in size in 6 years, folks. 6 years. The vaccine industry has tripled in size, in wealth, in 6 years. If that doesn't raise alarm bells, I don't know what will. They don't want to scare you, but it's COVID-19 news. You see? They don't want to scare you, but it's COVID-19 news. Wait a second. I thought this was news. No, it's COVID-19 news. Canada's not at the back of the line. Moderna's vaccine is currently in phase 3 of clinical trials. I guess they're going to do 3 weeks of that. And then they show you Canada's death toll, COVID-19 is top 12,000. How old were these people that you're rubber stamping the COVID? How old were these people? What was the average age? 85, 90 years old? How many, of course, they're not going to tell you any of that. They're just going to say numbers, and they're going to try, we're not trying to scare you. We're not trying to frighten you. Really? Your COVID-19 news isn't trying to frighten people. It's not trying to frighten people. Look at this. What transporting ice cream across Canada tells us about vaccine logistics, because they have to use their freezer trucks because winter is coming, of course. You got to wonder what's in the vaccines if they have to keep them like minus 70 degrees Celsius or whatever. What is in there? Really? Really? And the ice truck whole sort of meme has been along with this, you know. Y'all better take this serious. This is for real, you know. They're loading bodies on the back of these trucks, the frozen trucks, of course, with the imaginary corpses that they were loading onto them. My word. It's only the most evil plot in the history of the world. Anyways, I hope you had a nice weekend despite all this stuff. And I hope this stuff isn't getting to you and making you feel scared. Although we should all be very apprehensive about what's going on. I'm working on a video. I've been trying to finish it off. I mean, I had the big frickin' migraine, so... But I got a really powerful music video incoming. I know I was going to try to get it up last Friday, but that's when I came down with it. Probably won't be able to finish it off tonight, but I'll try to get that up this week. And I'm going to be live tomorrow for Monday Madness. And I just want to say a huge thanks to everybody. I'm sorry I wasn't able to do a show on Friday. I'll make it up for sure this week. And I'm really gunning. I'm already massively preparing for tomorrow's show. I've got so much to show you. Anyways, I hope you're doing well. If you do like the work and you want to support this channel, the Patreon link's in the description. I really, really appreciate that. And yeah, guys, hang in there. Please be the change you want to see. Stand up for your rights at all times. Know your rights. Stand up for them. And talk to people, as many people as you can, about this. Talk to people about the military being used. I mean, if they don't want to force you to take it, then why are they using the military? Come on, wake up and smell the bull crap. Anyways, you guys are the best. I'll see you guys all on Monday Madness. Much love.